Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Justin here, just too lazy to get out of bed at the moment. So, for today, I'm just going to make a few announcements and kind of share a story that I've been sort of been meaning to share for some time now after a few discussions with a friend of mine about what it's like to live in Japan and, the stupid things about working at a school in Japan. So, yeah. But first, some announcements. Yes, my next review. I'm not. It's not going to be a surprise now that I'm going to say it right now. So yes, next week the live-action Kiki's Delivery Service will be out in theaters, and I'll be sure to watch it and review it after I'm done watching it. So yes. And in other news, I'll be reviewing after that. I think on March 8th, the first Garo movie about what was his name, Ray. It's going to be hitting theaters. I think March 8th. But the bad news is the closest theater they're airing it is in Ikebukuro in Tokyo, which is about a little over 2 hours away from where I live. But since I like the character and I'm a Garo fan now, I'm probably going to go out and watch it. But I think there's going to be 6 of them, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be reviewing them or like should I review them one by one or should I review them collectively. But after I watch it, I'll be sure to let you know. Yeah, so I think it's going to be released in like 5 or 6 theaters in Japan, like one in Tokyo, one in Osaka, one in Fukuoka, one in Shikoku, I think Kochi, I think one in I think Hiroshima, and I think one in Hokkaido. But yeah, that's it for that. But also, next reviews, I'll be reviewing Kamen Rider Ryuki. Now I'll be reviewing the Western adaptation, Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, next month or so. And also, other reviews to look forward to is, of course, the Garo special Kiba Gaiden, which takes place at the end of the season 1, but it foreshadows season 2. And I'll also be reviewing season 2 of Garo, Makai Senki, and then the 2 movies after that, Sokoku no Mariu and Togen no Fue, and season 3, Yamio Terasumono. So yes, I've finally watched those and written my scripts for them, and I think fans of the franchise may be pleased, or maybe they won't, I don't know. Also, one anime review that I can confirm so far is Hajime no Ippo Rising. It's about 5 weeks left, so by the time the series concludes, expect a review immediately after. Yeah. As for any future anime reviews, expect some really, really, really old school anime. Maybe sometime around May or June. I can't really promise when, but the next animes I'm going to review will mostly focus on some really old school stuff. And also other tokusatsu reviews. Currently, I'm kind of delaying those anime reviews in favor of tokusatsu. Currently, I'm watching the original Kamen Rider series, the very first one that aired 40 years ago. Also, Go Ranger, the first ever Super Sentai series. And Space Sheriff Gavan, which was the first Metal Hero series, which was the series that would later spawn, or about like a few seasons later, Metalder, which would be used as the first season of VR Troopers, and then from second season onwards, they would use a very earlier Space Sheriff series, and which I thought was really weird, but yeah, look forward to those reviews. Of course, I plan on reviewing Metalder, the other Space Sheriff hero series, and I was thinking of watching Jaka and V3 afterwards. But yeah, in the meantime, my reviews this year so far will mostly be focused on tokusatsu. And somewhere down the line, I already have watched the original Ultraman series, but I kind of really need to watch it again. Thankfully, there's a DVD rental store just down the street. So yeah, I really want to review the original Ultraman series from 1966 as well. And maybe Ultra Q, I'm not sure. But yes, that's it for the news of my reviews. So, no, wait a second. Yeah, I'm thinking of viewing the Godzilla movie, the new one from America is coming out, I think in America in May or June, but it comes out in Japan in July, so maybe shortly before the new Godzilla movie comes out in Japan, I may review a few Godzilla movies. I'm not sure how I want to go about doing that, but I guess it's something new to focus on and just hopefully will develop my reviews in a more creative and philosophical sense. So yeah, that's for the news on that. So yeah, I just want to share a Japan story, which I think some people who have lived and worked in Japan can certainly relate to. So yeah, a few years ago when I first moved here, I did a bit of a smoking rant. Like, for example, restaurants have smoking sessions, McDonald's have smoking sessions, You can smoke in the parks and whatnot. Of course, that's kind of true in America, but that's like strongly discouraged. And like outside the school, like outside the gate, like teachers can smoke. And at my current school, teachers can actually smoke like not like outside the school, but like inside the gates, which was pretty interesting. But I just kind of want to bring up an issue that was kind of like the first time I worked in Japan back in 2006. Like, for example, I was living, let's say, like an hour by bike from my current school. Like, there's really no pub. This was back in, what was it? Like, I was in Tsuchiura in Ibaraki Prefecture. And there's really no good, reliable transportation system there. And I had no driver's license to drive in Japan, so the bus system sucks. There's really a non-existent train. Well, there is a train system, but it's like only to go to, let's say, Tokyo or Mito or whatever. It's not to use around the city. But so my only choice is by bike, and it would take an hour to get there, like I said before. So yes, I really kind of had no time to prepare breakfast, so like I had to like either buy breakfast at the 7-Eleven down the street from the school, or sometimes if I got up early enough, like there's a lot of 24-hour restaurants in Japan, like Gusto or Yoshinoya. I heard it's in America now, which surprises me. I'm kind of surprised it's not even 24 hours. Matsuya and some ramen places and all that. So yeah, one time I was a little. This kind of like brought up the first time, like I got in trouble for this at my very first school like numerous times, and like I'm kind of a back talker, but I'll get into that situation soon. So yeah, the first time like I was kind of like really running late, and there's just a 7-Eleven just like a few buildings away from the school. And like I just bought some breakfast. I bought some pizza man, a bar of Snickers. Hey, hungry, why wait? And I got myself like I don't know, like some bottle of like water or whatever. Like I think it was some sort of coffee. I don't remember. This was like almost 10 years ago. So yeah, like I kind of show up at the school, and like I show up at the desk, and like you're not supposed to bring that to school. And like it was like, well, if you can, don't make sure the students let you see it. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, I just thought it was like those kind of standard rules kind of thing. Unfortunately, me kind of waking up late, it sort of became a habit. Like, I really had no time to get breakfast. I just had to buy whatever the 7-Eleven. And like one time I forgot to get a drink, and like I bought something from the vending machine next to the school, had a drink there, and by the time I showed up, I was like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be drinking at the vending machines. Like, students can't really, use the vending machines, like, and all that stuff." Usually, the rules are like you can't really bring your own food. This is mostly for elementary and junior high. It's like usually the school provides the food for the students, the lunches, and all that. It's like it would really look bad for the school or whatever, because like it just tells the community that they're not really providing for them. That's why you can't really bring your own personal food to school. Like, this, of course, is the junior high and elementary. At the high school, they don't really give a shit. But yeah, I was like, okay, and then I start to notice like outside the school, like sometimes students will greet the teachers. I mean, the teachers will greet the students. I'm sorry, and I see the teachers smoking. I'm like, okay, they give me shit for just bringing something I bought the 7-Eleven, like just a couple pizza mons and a Snickers, and yet they don't get shit for smoking in front of students or in front of the school. I'm like, I don't get how I'm setting the bad example here, and it kind of like really got me in trouble for just doing all that, going against the system, that kind of system. And like one time, my friend, he's now in Osaka. Like he got in trouble for like buying an ice cream on his way home from school, like, students are not supposed to be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that too. And like he kind of like back talked about the whole smoking thing too. I'm like, come on, what kind of system is this where I can't buy breakfast and yet they're allowed to smoke? I mean, like, what's up with that? I mean, culture difference. I know I shouldn't be saying this, but like at this point, I know culture difference maybe, but like culture difference at this point, my ass. So yeah, that kind of really pissed. One of the things that pisses me off about living in Japan. It's like, okay, they tell you to do this because that's a bad example for the students, but yet they can do that when students shouldn't be, minors shouldn't be smoking. I mean, come on, give me a break here. So, but yeah, at the high school, like they don't have this whole stupid ass Kyushoku thing. Um, you could just like bring your own food. Like they don't care if you go to McDonald's or anything like that. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like when I was working in Sakaide 5 years ago, like every time there was lunch, like this English teacher I worked with, like we're still good friends to this day. Like we call each other like every other week or so. Like every time we're on lunch, he was like, "Hey, you want to go to McDonald's?" I'm like, this was kind of like after I was working at the junior high in Ibaraki, like so used to that stupid system. I was like, okay, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't bring this food to school. Oh, you can't bring that Snickers. And it was kind of like a liberation for me to go through that. This is why I prefer working in the high school system. I mean, like they can't really give me shit for things that I find personally trivial. And also, yeah. I was like, okay, McDonald's. Like, okay, let's go to this place where we can get some really good ramen. Like, okay, cool. So yeah, that's just one of the stupid things about working in Japan. Like, they'll tell you this is bad, but like that can't be bad. Come on, give me a break here. All right, that's it for that.